Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As was introduced, I am Yang Jin-gun from Jeju University. So I know that it's a long day today. So as the final presenter, I'd like to share with you some practical examples. Today, the topic of my presentation is ODA-based model for promoting international exchange of K-MOOC. First of all, before I begin, I would like to thank NILE for offering me with this invaluable opportunity to share my presentation. I have various reasons why I'm so thankful, and I will be talking about them as I deliver my presentation. So here you can see in just one page slide the gist of my presentation. So basically, what we are working on is exporting the K-MOOC model, and we actually call it K-Metaversity. What is K-Metaversity? It is K-MOOC-based ODA and ICT promotion partnership platform in order to realize SDG goals number 4 and 5. Now, before I elaborate on these further, I would like to share with you the reason why we have come to work on this K-Metaversity project. Now, it all started with the School of Choi-Jung-suk. Now, this School of Choi-Jung-suk started from 2014 for volunteering purposes, and it was about building schools in Africa, nothing related to K-MOOC. So I've started doing all these volunteering work, and starting from 2017, I've realized that there is one African country which is the poorest in the world, and that country is Burundi. And I've started an NGO activity to build schools in Burundi. For your information, Choi Jung-soo is a female leader and former and the very first education superintendent of Jeju. During difficult times in the past, she devoted herself and her lifetime to promoting education opportunities for the vulnerable groups in our community. So, in line with her spirit, we decided to undertake some volunteering activities, and starting from 2017, we started building the School of Choi-Jung-suk in Burundi in Africa. So we wanted to carry on with the spirit of Choi Jung-suk, and when we selected Burundi, they of course wanted boys' high school, but we offered to build a school for girls. And we've also had to say that we are willing to walk away if they don't accept our proposal. And we decided to also include the name Choi Jung-suk in the school. So starting from 2018, we have built high schools for girls, Choi Jung-suk High School for girls. And at first, we wanted to build elementary schools, but the community that we were working with actually had a elementary school, and so they wanted a high school for girls, and we built one. And at the completion ceremony, we realized that the elementary school also lacked a lot of infrastructure, and so we in 2019 built a primary and middle school to that community. So now they have primary, middle, and high schools for their boys and girls. And here you can see the land parcel that we received from Burundi. It's 20,000 pyong. And the school is performing really well. In Burundi, it is the best girls' high school, and it has been making a lot of efforts to earn that name. The teachers there are very devoted to teaching the students. They today have they have been in operation for now they actually have had graduates for 2 years now. Now, if you look at schools in Burundi, most of them are initiated by the government, and there are, yes, civic groups and religious groups that are building schools. And once the schools are completed, then they would simply walk away. But if you think about it, we have actors and actresses in Korea building schools in Africa. There are even like Kimyona School in Africa. But the management is not being done adequately. So we wanted to actually understand what the needs are in the local community. And in the building schools, we actually gave local community job opportunities so that they can come on board and build schools with their hands. So I think that our project is very meaningful in a way that it's led by the local community. So the non-profit organization located in Jeju has about 800 or so members, and they're all working to build schools in Africa in order to carry on with the spirit of Chaejongsu. They've together worked to raise funds and also persuaded NGOs in Korea and Burundi. And also we had the Burundi government on board. And in the local village called Muzandara, we worked closely with the community to build those schools. And I believe that in that sense, our Chejongso High School is the very first concept in Africa. And because it was led and initiated by the local community, it was quite successful. And I think that behind the success, yes, of course, it was led by the community, and but afterwards, constant upgrade and management is important for the students who have graduated from the high schools are also being looked after by us. Here you can see the students who are in attendance, and you see one snapshot of a classroom, and left bottom, you can see the president of Burundi visiting the school to encourage the school students. And on the right bottom, you see the graduates, the very first graduates. 100 students entered the school, but about 60 plus students made it to graduation. We wanted to build a school in order to help out the underprivileged. However, the local community was also very committed to building the school and managing and operating the school. And currently, there are many students attending the classes there, and the level of proficiency is also very high. And we also have dormitory in the school. And one thing I would like to also highlight is that the country itself is not that wealthy, of course. So the budget is always short. So we had school farms. We have a soap farm. We have a chicken breeding farm, and etc. So Jeju school, Jeju Education Board also helped us out to get ODA support. And I think that with 50 million Korean won that we received as ODA, we were able to build these school farms. And this actually helped local communities in Burundi a lot. And the schools was able to become self-sufficient. So it's not only for the survival of the school and the students, but it brought self-sufficiency.
And also I visited the primary school. And you can see that the people in yellow uniform, they are the 9-year primary school students. And people in white and black uniform, they are the students in secondary schools, which is the 3-year course. And this primary school had a very shoddy infrastructure. So we renovated the facilities to be high quality. And during the COVID pandemic, again, we continuously provide the support for school renovation. And these two students, they are the most excellent students with the highest school performances from the Burundi Girls High School. And so they were selected and they were dispatched to Jeju-do for 2-year training. And currently they are in the 2nd year. And all the training is sponsored and financed by the Medical College of the Korea University. And currently they have received the various certificates, including the patisserie certificate and so on. In fact, this is something that we were able to do. Beyond that, as a private organization, we couldn't really afford the larger projects beyond this level. But then the NIL and also many other organizations have helped us. And also the president of NIL gave us a very good idea. So we finally decided to embark on a very large-scale project to establish the Burundi 최정숙 Women's Institute of Science and Technology. I believe that this project truly was impossible without the support and cooperation from various organizations. So basically, based on the K-MOOC, this project is to have some pilot project to build K-Metaversity and operate that in Burundi. And we did the pre-project survey, and we found that with the current K-MOOC, we couldn't really start the 4-year courses for certificate program. So we decided to establish a new K-MOOC course for Burundi, BCWIST. So in terms of the operational models for K-Metaversity, as well as for fulfilling the SDG goals and other international organizations, and also to build the sustainable cooperation systems with the organizations that were involved in establishing primary and secondary schools. This project, we thought that could be very helpful. And we did the survey on Burundi students, what they want to be. And many of them want to go to university students, and they wanted to study computer science, followed by agriculture and food science. So based on the survey result, the K-Metaversity, as well as the NIL, with its expertise and know-how, we decided to develop the K-MOOC certificate programs for computer science. So this is the idea that we currently pursue, and we are working on this concept right now. And several professors have joined us, and they have come up with these curriculums for this computer science course. So here you can see that in the 1st and 2nd year, we provide some basic courses, and then for 3rd and 4th year, we add some localization strategies to reflect the situations in Burundi's industry to cater to the needs of the Burundi students. And what's most important is to conduct thorough surveys for effective localization. So together with the local studies, for example, like right at the bottom next to the Burundi, we have Tanzania and the Joge Order of the Korean Buddhism Organization. They established some universities there, and they were pretty successful, but at the same time, they had a lot of sufferings as well. So in our case, we had to establish the buildings and infrastructures. And so it's going to involve quite a huge amount of budget. So it wasn't really affordable by us. But if we could rely on online technology using and creating K-Metaversity, then we thought that the things could be pretty affordable. So that's why we decided to work on this idea, especially for the localization of the educational content You can see that we developed the courses for the first, second, third, and fourth year. And also by villages. We established some dormitory facilities, and we think that the 20 would be the appropriate number for students in computer science course that we can accommodate. So, and we have to create some facilities so that the students can gather. And we will continue to work on the localization. What we initially did before is that in the past, as you know, there are a lot of poor women in Burundi. So we thought that initially that vocal training system would be required rather than a university. So this year, our plan is to establish the occupational training center. However, a lot of high school graduates, especially female high school graduates, they have very strong desire to go to university. So aside from the female vocational training center, we believe that we also have to be involved in establishing universities. So together with the NIL, as well as with the support of the ODA fund, maybe we can have 2 to 4 year project to establish the university based on K-metaversity. And so what we aim for ultimately is this, that the K-wave is sweeping across Africa. And I believe that the project could be the outpost to further spread K-wave or Korean pop culture. And also next to the Tanzania, there is a country called Malawi. And recently there was a K-pop competition taking place together with the South Africa Republic. And the attendance was so high, and also people were so passionate there. So I believe that this K-metaversity will not be ended just as a course for computer science. Rather, we hope that it could be expanded to other industries and other cultural sectors. And also the Sejong학당, which is a Korean language learning program. It's also very successful in many countries throughout the world. So if we could successfully combine them with the K-metaversity, then I'm sure that we will have a very ideal project and we'll be able to make our dream come true. And in this sense, please stay tuned for this project. If this project goes successful, then I'm sure that it can be linked to other projects and more projects will proliferate. So with that, I would like to thank you very much for giving me this chance to deliver my presentation at this auspicious occasion. And I sincerely ask for your support and encouragement. Thank you very much.